What's up guys, Luke here from Luke's Points and Miles, and today I wanted to do a part 2 of your questions and I will answer them. The first video got a pretty good response, pretty positive response, so I wanted to do a part 2 because I did get a couple really good questions. But first, if you are new to the channel, we talk about credit cards, points, miles, cashback, and travel. If you're interested in that sort of thing, slap that subscribe button. We are a growing channel and it is a great time to jump on board. At any time, if you get any value or entertainment from this video, hit that like button. It will 100% help us with our YouTube algorithm and it'll help get this video out to more people. As the last time, guys, I am going to read your questions and I'm going to answer them. Sort of an authentic answer with no scripting and very little editing. First up is Dario Martinez. Hey Luke, what are your thoughts on the changes Capital One has done recently, like the new Venture X card, increased travel partners, cafes, airport lounges, etc.? Do you think pairing the Venture X card with the Saver card could compete with the Chase and Amex trifectas? Well, first off, Dario, I think the changes Capital One is making is great for us, the consumer. Anytime competition is increased, it's going to be good for us. And as of right now, yes, I do think Capital One can compete with Chase and American Express. If you add the Capital One Saver One card with no annual fee, I think you're adding quite a bit to that duo. And yes, I do think for some people that can compete with American Express and Chase. However, I do think they do have a long way to go before they can beat Chase or American Express. I think right now the top tier is Chase and American Express here, and Capital One is definitely leading the pack for the second tier. And I think things are just going to get better. I'm going to visit that Capital One lounge in September, and I definitely want to report on that, and I'm actually really excited about going there because from what I understand, it's a great lounge. Next question, Roy Lynn 007. How do you think the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant will be now that Marriott will be moving towards dynamic pricing structure? Will it still be the same hotel keeper card? What are your thoughts on potentially raising the annual fee and giving instant platinum status? Well, I'm going to give you a straight up opinion that may not be popular. I don't care at all about the dynamic pricing. To me, it doesn't change anything. I get a credit card and I put my everyday spend on it and I get rewards from it. Now, I just booked a Marriott, is an economical Marriott. I think it was a Courtyard for a Dallas Cowboys Cincinnati Bengals game. And it was super easy and it was super cheap relative to the price. I don't care about dynamic pricing. I'm still going to get great deals. And yes, the Bonvoy Brilliant is still going to be a keeper card. As far as changing the benefits, well, if American Express is listening to me, yes, raise the annual fee a little bit and give us platinum or even titanium status. I value hotel status a lot. I think it's a great thing in this game. So I'm willing to pay a higher annual fee and make Marriott my primary hotel I stay at for some high tier status. Brian Montano. Do you recommend racking up points with American Express Gold Card or Chase Unlimited cards and upgrading to the Platinum or Sapphire to really take advantage of the travel benefits? This is for individuals that travel 1 to 3 times a year. Well, I recommend everyone having a base trifecta in whatever rewards currency they're trying to build. So if you have Chase cards and you are building points with unlimited cards, I would recommend you get one of the Sapphires, absolutely. It just makes sense. As far as the American Express, I don't think if you are traveling 1 to 3 times a year that Platinum card is going to make sense. That Platinum card has an unreal annual fee at almost $700. And if you're only traveling 1 to 3 times a year, you may not even be traveling to airports that have a Centurion lounge, or you may not be able to utilize all those benefits. The Platinum card, I will always say, if you can make those credits work, then the Platinum card is an easy yes. If you can't make a lot of those credits work and you're only traveling 1 to 3 times a year, it may not be the best card for you. Michael Pythium. I don't have any Chase cards, but thinking about just staying away due to that stupid 524 rule. What do you think? Michael, that is going to be an individual question, and I can tell you from my perspective, guess what? I don't have any Chase cards. I do have the Chase Amazon Prime, but as far as the real Chase Ultimate Rewards cards, I don't have any because I'm not going to farm long enough to get under 524. Do I think Chase cards are worth slowing down your velocity to get under 524? Maybe. It hasn't been worth it for me, and I don't know when I'll be under 524. The only way I can say it would really make sense is if you are considering going the business card route. And if you can farm the personal side for 6 to 12 months and just get business cards, I think it's definitely worth it. I do think the Chase cards have a ton of value, and I would suggest at least considering getting under 524 to enjoy those cards. Mikey B. What are your thoughts on the CSR at this point in 2022, especially compared to the Capital One Venture X and the American Express Platinum? What would you want to change about that card to make it worth it over the competition? Well, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, I think, is a big league card. I think it's an awesome travel card. How does it compare to the Platinum and the Venture X? I would probably put it third behind those two cards. The one thing that is really great about the Reserve is the primary car rental coverage, and the Venture X has that. I think the American Express Platinum, for those of us that travel 8 times or more a year, I think it's in a class of its own. We really value airport lounge access, and the priority pass on the Sapphire is just minimal. I love Delta Sky Clubs, I love the Centurion Lounge, so I don't think it compares with the Platinum. How would I make it more competitive? That's a really difficult question. I think the multipliers are good. I think the card is good. It has that $300 travel credit. But what you could add, maybe you add some hotel status. Maybe if you added some significant status at Hyatt or Marriott, that might make it worth it. Next up, I have no idea if I'm pronouncing this right. Cocaina 345. Do you use the Aspire card over your Platinum at hotels? That's the first question. I almost always use points for pricey Hilton hotels. For the Conrad or the Waldorf, it's almost always an awards redemption. I use cash, and I'll use the Aspire card for maybe a Hilton Garden or a Hampton Inn stay, maybe a one-nighter or a two-nighter, or in a situation where I'm not bringing my wife and I'm not looking for luxury. As far as using the Platinum, at least once or twice a year, I will use the fine hotels and resorts. And when I use that program, it is almost always a Marriott or a Hilton. So I guess to answer your question, I use both. I prefer to use the Aspire when I can, but I always look for that deal on the fine hotels and resorts because I think that program is amazing. Second question. Once you're done with status hunting, will you use your Reserve over your Platinum for Delta flights? No. I won't use the Reserve for 3 times Delta Sky miles over the Platinum with 5 times membership rewards points. It just won't happen. I will probably have a very difficult decision to make about that Reserve card in a year because I'm having second thoughts and a little bit of doubts about putting that much spend just on an airline card that doesn't really earn. Third question, how much credit limit do you have in total, not including business cards? I did a video on this a while back, and I think not including the charge cards, I think I'm around $225,000 in total credit. And I have a lot of business cards. The business cards, though, they have a smaller credit limit because my businesses just don't make a ton of money. But I think it's around $225,000 to $250,000 total credit with credit cards. Next up, Manny Covington. Manny, I will be in Dallas on September 18th to watch those Cincinnati Bengals beat up them boys. Manny's question is, what's your dream trip that you would want to go solo and a dream trip you want to do with your family? Points and money, no object. Well, solo. I think I did it. I think last September I went to Dubai, and I did it because, at least in part, it was the new cool hip thing to do. But I went to Dubai, I flew on Qatar Q Suites, I stayed at the Ritz-Carlton, and I stayed at the Atlantis. I did everything on points and miles, and I really did it in style and luxury. So I did that. My second choice is probably Tokyo, Japan, and that's why I've booked it twice and I still haven't been there. I think that's a little more difficult trip with the language barrier and the different cultural differences, but I can't wait to go to Tokyo. I think it'd be a super cool cultural experience. As far as taking my family, I kind of have a mission when I go places with my family. And not only do I want to enrich their lives and take them to places we otherwise wouldn't be able to afford to go, but I try to go places that help develop my boy. I have a 5-year-old, he's going to be 6 real soon, and the last trip we took was to Dublin, Ireland. And that was because my wife has somewhat of a cultural connection to Ireland, and I wanted her to kind of share that with my son, and I wanted him to see different cultures and different people. And I think that really develops a kid into an adult, and I think that's a great way to help me do that. So, I don't know, maybe Hawaii. I think there's enough culture in Hawaii. If we can get away from the city, he can see how other people live. And plus, Hawaii is it's a bucket list trip, and I think to see somewhere like that, somewhere completely different in the world than where we live, I think it'd be good for him. Guys, that's all your questions. I hope you found some value or entertainment out of this video. I do want to remind you that this week you can get $40 cash back at Rakuten if you use our link to sign up. Do it, it's free money. You should do all your retail shopping with an online shopping portal. It's just good sense. Also, a lot of you asked about Mega Fit Meals, the frozen meals I'm using. I do have a link below. If you use my promo code, you can get $30 off your first purchase there. Always remind you guys, check us out on socials, and if you have stayed around all the way to the end, thank you.